Hello everyone, today is the 2000 round mark of my Canik TP9SFx. So let's take a look at what has worked with the gun and what has not worked with the gun. Nothing is perfect, and this gun is no exception. Alright, magazine, no issues whatsoever. Not surprising, Medgar magazines, perfect. I have a dummy round in it, as it is highly suggested when you dry fire the Canik TP9SFx to have a dummy round. But the trigger is unchanged, still one of the most beautiful trigger on the market. Follow-up shots are tight. Let's talk about the outside of the gun. I have a medium size magazine release, and this worked out wonderfully. The grip might seem a little bit slick, but the gun stays in the hand at all time. I never had an issue, so personally I do not intend to staple my gun, but feel free, this is a way to personalize your gun and it cannot harm anything anyway. But as is, it's working out great. Slide, no issue, no marks whatsoever, which it should not. But the slide release is a pretty big issue for me. The way I position my hands, and I think I'm not the only one, everybody in competition position their hands right here, I have a tendency to push the slide release up. And I've had in occasion the slide locking back while the magazine was still full. And that I don't like very much. So I might replace the slide release with one from a regular TP9 which does not have this extension here, and hopefully this will work. If not, and hopefully Canik will change the design, I might cut off that front piece here to remove that extrusion, and this way my hand will not hit it. So we'll see. I might not even do that on this one, but on the TP9 slide release I'm going to buy. This way, if I want to sell the gun one day, this will come with it. But it is in the way, and that is not fun when you are shooting and all of a sudden your slide lock and you wonder, oh, am I out? But no, you still have rounds, so you close the slide and you lose time. So we talked about the trigger, beautiful, the magazine release, the slide release. The sights, excellent, excellent. As you can see, the slide, well, that has been covered before, but I love them because not only they are black on the red, a very visible fiber, but the sides are cut off. And so you have a larger picture of what you are seeing around, instead of being squared on each side. So the sides are not going to be changed unless I go with an optic, but as is, it's beautiful. Now let's talk about the inside of the gun. Let's remove my dummy around. And let's talk about the springs. When Canik ship those guns, they come with the normal recoil spring and the normal firing pin spring that comes with, I think, every one of its handguns. And it is great if you are going to shoot any defensive round, powerful rounds. But as people who do competition knows, we want the weakest round allowed by the competition. And in USPSA we have what we call a power factor of minimum of 125, which means on a 9mm, and what I'm shooting is 124 grain ogive, it has to be no more than, I think, no less than 1,008 feet per second. So just to be on the safe side, I go higher than that at 130 power factor. But still, the round is weak, and so using the factory recoil spring, the spent ammo or the spent brass will have a failure to eject. So in this case, you need to replace the recoil spring and the firing pin spring. This one is a Sprinco That's a two-stage non-capture recoil spring. This is the one made for the Walther PPQ, and it fits the Canik perfectly. And with that goes the firing pin spring, which is the red 28 Newton spring. Those two have to work in combination, and this is the combination working really nice for weak rounds. Other combination that has been working out, I've tried the Glock 17 recoil spring with the Glock 17 firing pin spring, and some people say you can use the SIG P320 rod with a 1911 spring. So there are a few combinations out there. But except for that, this gun has been flawless since I replaced the spring. Except for one major issue, but this will not affect everybody, it seems like. There might be some manufacturing issue on a firing pin and they might break. Mine broke during dry firing, and that's why I use a dummy round. Don't mind that color. This is of course to sit at the range among all those brass. But anyway, Century Arms knows very well about the issues of the firing pin. So if you have a broken firing pin, you email to them, they will ask you a copy of your receipt, a copy of your driver's license, and they will send you another part. You cannot buy them from Century. They don't import them. It is quite complicated to import gun parts in this country. The government is afraid that a manufacturer might, or an importer might import all the parts and assemble the gun here. So it's pretty restrictive, and Century has a number of issues to import the parts. But anyway, the new firing pin hopefully has a different metal molding, and so far it has been really good. It's holding very well. Now let's take a look at the inside of the gun, at the wearing of the gun. I do not do any polishing on my guns. The polishing will happen naturally through dry firing and live firing. And inside of the slide we can see the plunger, the safety plunger is beautifully polished through about 2000 rounds. You have some wear, normal, absolutely normal wear on the inside. The Cerakote is wearing off. But that happened on every single gun. Slightly here on the inside rail, but again it's metal to metal contact right there as well. But nothing more or nothing less than any other gun. It's beautiful. On the lower frame, again the contact metal to metal are extremely well polished. This is for the plunger here. I forgot what this one is, but very, very nice. Some from the barrel here, and we'll take a look at the barrel, which has a normal, like my Glock, wear right there. So I put a little bit of oil when I clean my gun. Same on the front of the barrel, so a little bit of oil. And I never seen that on other guns before, but you have a light wearing off on the side of the barrel. I look at picture of other Caniks, and it's happened on every one of them. So nothing to worry about. A little bit of oil will take care of that. And if you are worried about the polishing, you can also put some bluing, but I will leave it naturally like that. So nothing really out of the ordinary after 2000 rounds. The accuracy is still there. There is no issue with the trigger, no issue with the barrel, no issue now resolved with the spring. By the way, I will put the link for that Sprinco springs down there. This one is kind of a pain in the butt to put in. Oh, and this is the first time I do it in one move. Okay, beautiful. That firing pin is one of the easiest to put back onto the gun. I love it. I put it out so many times for cleaning. It is not funny, but no, this is done. Anyway, would I buy this gun again? Heck yes! Do I love it? Yes. Do I have good score, good target hits? Yes. So overall, for competition gun, Canik hit the mark. If only they replace the recoil spring and the firing pin spring for competition and correct the issue of the slide release. It is almost a perfect gun. Well, that's it. Until next time, see you guys.